Welcome back to Stooge Stream. I'm your host, the Stooge. This is my Fortnite Battle Royale first impressions. So basically, I've been playing the game for about 4 hours, or game mode, I should say. And what do I think so far? So let's start with the positives. The positives are, it's really, really polished. For something that says early access, it really doesn't feel like an early access game. Feels like, or game mode, feels like everything is kind of there. You'll only see a little bit here and there of some graphical glitches or just one or two little things that remind you that it's early access, but it happens so infrequently. It is really, really polished. The other positives, the shooting, third-person shooting is really fun. I like third-person games. We don't get enough of them. The only sort of third-person series that seems to come out frequently is Gears of War. So that's really cool. And it's not a cover. This clearly isn't a cover shooter. It's just a run around, bang, bang, bang. The building mechanics are really fun. Like, you can do some really cool things with it. So, for instance, there'll be a chest hidden in an attic somewhere. So you shoot, or I should say hammer through the wall, build some stairs, jump up into the attic, get your loot, jump back down. There's just some cool little things that the game does that I think is really interesting. It's just really well done. Like, it's a very cool game mechanic that I enjoyed quite a bit. A couple of things that I didn't like about the game. So I'm not going to be too critical of it because it is still early access, but there's just not a lot to it. I mean, from what I understand with PUBG, and I haven't played it, so I'm not coming from a place of complete understanding. I haven't played PUBG at all, but there's just not much to this game. I mean, you jump in, you do your bang-ba-bangs, and that's it. Then you jump into another round. And though on one hand, I congratulate them for not putting in a ton of microtransactions and customizable, outfits, and you have to pay for this and that to look the coolest, and, pay to win weapons, so start with an auto rifle and, that type of thing. I very much on one hand congratulate them for not taking the easy option and the easy way out. But on the other hand, there's just nothing there. I mean, apparently leaderboards are coming and, your own personal rankings and stuff, but who really cares about leaderboards? Like, I don't. So I can see why PUBG is so popular, because the more you play, there's rewards. You can unlock more items and look cool, and even though everyone's on a level playing field, you get to actually do something with your character and avatar, which in this, here's another thing that I wasn't overly impressed with, is the fact that you don't get to choose your character. There's a limited amount. From what I could count, it looked like there was about 8 different characters. So you'll be seeing a lot of the same guy and girls over and over and over. Yeah, and there's nothing you can do to really make it your own. Which on one hand, as I said, I congratulate them for not taking the microtransaction easy option. And on the other hand, it's like, well, it feels very arcadey. Let's put it that way. It does feel very, very arcadey. Now, again, this is early access, so I don't know if they're going to be adding all of these things in after the fact, but it seems like basically this whole Battle Royale mode is just an ad for you to buy the other mode in Fortnite, Save the World, which is your survival, building, crafting, wave mode, which we've seen over and over and over. Which brings me to something else. It seems like a lot of games that have been coming out recently have a niche audience. And not even recently. We can go back to Minecraft. Minecraft spawned 1 billion competitors, but nothing ever reached the heights of it. Nothing got anywhere close to it. And most of them just withered away and died. Overwatch was the same. You had Battleborn and Paragon and all those games that kind of were really, really similar to it, but kind of a touch different, but really similar. They all just disappeared and died. And it seems that these limited niche games, that even though they have a huge audience, there seems to be only one game that kind of captures that audience. So, I mean, if you go back, you had H1Z1 and a couple of other Battle Royale games. They really didn't capture that audience, but PUBG did. It sold 15 million copies or something. It's quite insane. And I think it's going to kind of take that audience, because even though you do get, for the 4 hours I played it, every game I played had between 50 and 80 people in it. And this was early in the morning too, so that's really good. And it is free, which is really good. I just don't think there's enough replay value to it to keep bringing you back. Like games like Overwatch, there can only be one in your life, because that kind of takes it for you, and you're filled and you're done, and you don't really need any more of that. So, like, I didn't need Battleborn or Paragon because I've got Overwatch, and that covers that hero shooter for me. And I didn't really need all these other survival builder games because Minecraft came along, and I didn't really need any new Horde mode games because Gears of War already exists. And that's what your multiplayer is. So, you know, there's games that already take that place. And I think Fortnite Battle Royale, though, will have an audience for a short term, I don't know if it'll sustain that audience in the long term. And I don't know if it's going to have its own audience like PUBG does. And once that comes to consoles, will it just eradicate this? Who knows? I'm playing this on PS4. It is a lot of fun, but it's going to be a play a couple of rounds and then go do something else game for me. So, you know, I'll jump in, play a couple of rounds, maybe squad up with G-Banks, play a couple of rounds, and then go over and play Destiny because it's got more depth, or Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, or any number of other games that I own that it just has more to it. This really does feel like a great warm-up game. If multiplayer gamers will know what I mean. You know, when you just want to jump in with a friend and just quickly warm up. This is kind of what this feels like. You just warm up and then go play something else. There's just no reason to keep coming back. On another positive note, though, like, in the 4 hours that I played, I was getting game after game after game after game. There was really no delay. In saying that, the waiting area, you've got to wait for a minute and 20 minutes once everyone joins the game. That could be cut down to, 30 seconds, but that's just a nitpick. As far as server quality, there's no lag, I have no problem. So it is really polished. It's really fun. It just doesn't have a huge amount of replay value. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Have you played Fortnite Battle Royale? Are you a PUBG player? What do you think how is this all going to turn out? I honestly think that this is just going to be a flash in the pan and disappear. Who knows, though? I could be really wrong. The other game type, Save the World, is just a horde mode survival game. Don't think that's going to last too long either, but we'll see. I could be entirely wrong. Epic do make good games, and this is, as I said, really polished and a fun game. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I've been your host, the Stooge. Until next time, don't forget, adventure, excitement, Stooge craves not these things. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.